And we are live. Trent, my dude, how you doing?
Live.
How you doing?
Great. How are you, Brant?
I am super good. Now that we're here, everything's solid, ready to go, and
Right.
stoked. How about you?
I said it once, I'll say it again. I like your shirt, even though you don't know what it stands for.
Bikes, dude.
I'm doing good, man. I was just doing a little moving job today, helping Wes' sister move out of her house into a new house. So a little sore, but I'm good.
Yeah, good for you. Get the
I
body
needed
moving.
it. I was showing Tony Maloof how to move stuff.
That's funny. I can only imagine just a giant group of BMX riders moving someone.
Oh yeah, it's a riot.
Like, we're gonna do this
Fast
all
pace.
in one trip.
Yeah, fast paced. Come on.
Wait, you can't lift that? Send it.
Get in, get out. Bend those knees.
That's
or don't.
funny. So we've gathered here today. First
Yeah.
of all, I'm gonna say congratulations because I watched the video. Amazing.
You watched the in between now.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yes, I sent it to you. Yes.
I watched
Nice.
it and it is incredible.
You had enough time. You had an hour and 12 minutes to take out of your day. You seem pretty busy.
Victoria and I
That is-
watched it for
Did you
while
together?
we ate dinner and then
That's amazing.
finished it out after we finished eating. It was awesome.
That's amazing. I've been worried about the length of it. I just don't know if people are going to be able to get through it or not. But I really do think I've seen it 100 times now, 1,000 times, and when I sit down, put headphones in, and really tune into it, it gets me, man. I hope it gets through to you. That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, and before we get too far into that, I don't want to forget that note of the length, but
Yeah.
I wanted to give the people who have no idea what we're talking about a little bit of context.
Yeah.
So, The In-Between, episode 3, is going live tomorrow. Where and when?
Dig BMX.
What
It's going
time?
live. I don't know. Usually probably like noon my time. So I'm in Texas. So figure that out.
Noon in Texas.
We just screwed that up.
That's 1 p.m. Eastern and
Yeah.
10 a.m.
Yeah.
10
I'm not
a.m.
too sure on that, but it'll be out sometime in like the morning to midday tomorrow, which is insane to think. Every time it just comes up so fast, but it takes so much work to get to this point. And now we're here, and this is dropping tomorrow. And I made like 10 Instagram reels yesterday, just went hard.
That's awesome.
Nonstop. Yeah.
But that's going to help. That's definitely going to
Yeah,
help.
that is very important to do. You always forget about that side of things. You get the video done, you're like, yeah. And you're like, oh shit, I got to promote this thing now.
So,
but
go
I'm
ahead.
getting better at it.
Yeah, naturally with time and
Yeah.
doing things more often.
Yeah.
How would you describe what this video is for people who have no idea?
This video, it's a story of a kid's life. My best friend growing up. It's a story of his life, but his story represents, in my mind, it represents so many other kids. Probably 90% of kids in BMX that are coming up that get addicted to it. Whether they're 13, 14, 12. It could even be an old dude. Who fucking knows? Whatever their age is, it's a story that I think is going to resonate with a lot of people, and how he came from a nothing town with not much going on around him, no industry. I know we're in the United States, so the industry is here. People out of the country think the United States. I had Tam out here, so he's like, you think when you're from America that you're in the industry, but really, like, this place is so big. It's, Michigan, small town Michigan is not the industry. It's not where it's at. If it wasn't for the Michigan video and the idols that we had around us growing up, we may have never gotten to where we're at now, been so addicted to this shit. So this is our way of giving back to the next generation and keeping them stoked, because I think the next generation is getting stoked by BMX riding videos, but something like this that dives just a little bit deeper and shows you that story and shows you that perspective and shows you how possible it is and how fast it happens, I think is just so important. I think it's going to hit home with a lot of people, and it's going to get a lot of people stoked, because Dude, Grant's the fucking man. He's like one of the best kids ever, and that's what everyone says around him. And BMX never knew about him until he was 25 years old for the most part. So
Yeah.
now here he is. He's in BSD because of everything that, I mean, you're gonna learn all about it. You're gonna learn all about it in this episode, but
Yes.
it's
Yes, you are. And
it's just everything, man. This story is everything to us at this point in our lives. This is everything. It's what got us to where we are now, and it's not by luck. It's not by anything. It's just about where we put ourselves and how much we put into it.
yeah,
That's it.
it's very obvious from watching this that you guys are
Yeah.
conscious of all of that.
Yeah,
How do you
Yeah.
feel having it wrapped up?
dude, it's surreal. It's honestly surreal. I mean, it's really not wrapped up, right? Because the story continues. The story
It's
goes
true.
on.
It's
Yeah.
true. But the video itself is going live. So how's it feel
Yeah.
to have the video to go live and done for that?
It's anxiety. It's crazy. Every time, these aren't riding videos, you know? I mean, anyone that's watching this that has dropped a riding video in the past where they worked on for the year or whatever, and whatever it is, it's like you can feel that little bit of anxiety before you drop it. You're wondering what people are going to think, whatever. This is that and so much more. I mean, Grant is not a very open person for the most part. I'm an open person, but not really online and not so much. And this is just really, I mean, this is digging deep into our emotions, and it's breaking us down and it's making us vulnerable, but it's good because people should be vulnerable, and it's healthy. It's healthy for us. If nobody gets anything out of watching these, at least we get something out of it, you know, and we're learning every step of the way. It's anxiety though. That's how I feel. I feel anxiety. I'm fucking nervous. My voice is going to be out there, and I can't, like, when I first started the In-Between, I can't even stand listening to my voice. So
Yeah.
this has been done for 3-4 months, and it's just pretty much, I mean, some things have gotten in the way with BSD, but I just really couldn't sit down and take the time to finish it because I just get all this anxiety about it. I'm like, it's never going to get to where it needs to be. And
And hardest work is never done.
yeah, it never is.
You
We're
just have to
learning.
put it out there because you'll never stop working on it if you don't.
I told Tony yesterday, Maloof, we were working on a video, and I was telling him that this episode is basically a culmination of like all of my video editing skills, videography skills in one. I'm like, it's only up from here, but this is like my peak and what I'm capable of as a videographer, documentarian. What's that word you want to call it? But
You literally made a movie.
I made a fucking movie.
It's made a movie.
Dude, I made a movie, and Grant dude, we did all those interviews and stuff, and you could see him progress throughout it, but holy shit, I mean, we're best friends, and that stuff was hard. I mean, him telling me stories that I already know.
Oh, wow. I never even thought about that aspect of it while I was watching.
Yeah, that stuff is hard. I'm glad you didn't, because that's how it's supposed to be. But,
right.
You know, but that stuff is hard, and he had to learn. His dad was amazing on camera. I can't wait for people to see that.
Oh, his dad is so good.
Yeah, his dad kicks ass.
Seriously. So, I mean, you mentioned a little bit ago about the length. It's over an hour long, and what I was going to say then, but I wanted to hold so we got some context wrapped around this, is that I think people are going to watch the entire thing all the way through. Probably there's going to be people who watch this more than once. Just
amazing.
Purely based on my experience in doing like jam videos. Like, I'll make the edit version, then I'll make a long version and call it like Cornhucket the movie. And and if I type in the movie right now and find Cornhucket the movie 2022 has 1,500 views on it.
Okay.
Cornhucket the edit from 2022 has 4,000 views. So the movie is an hour and 11 minutes. The edit is 10 minutes, and it has almost half as many views.
Nice. So people are going to tune in.
Yes, people are going to watch, and it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I really try to take the hour and 12 minutes to watch it fully. I mean, I'm all for you having to pause it and go back to it, but if you really can watch it fully through it, it'll get to you. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I did. We watched it without pausing one time,
yeah,
and it's fantastic. I think, like, I was trying to sit here and be like, man, what do I say about this
yeah,
video in a sentence? And I'm
yeah,
like, I can't do it. You just have to watch it. Like words,
yeah,
my words in one sentence can't cover it.
yeah. We wrote a story, man. It's crazy. At one point, it was a massive puzzle that someone just dumped all over the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew we wanted to complete the puzzle, and we knew we wanted to, show the imagery and all that and get our message across. But we had no fucking idea how we were going to do it.
How long did it take you to edit it, do you think?
Probably about 200 hours total.
Jeez, that's crazy.
It took me a month straight of editing, and then I sent it off and got it back with a few suggestions. And then it took me about another 2 to 3 months to get back to it because I mentally could not dive back into that timeline. I mean, if you see this timeline, it's like I'm not that organized at Premiere Pro yet. I'm getting better.
Yeah.
But man, it's 7:14, like 7 on top, 7 audio on the bottom. Like it's all over the place.
It's a movie.
Dude, and I edited middle parts of it, middle sections. I edited first. Like when we finally go to Battle of Hastings, that section is the first thing I edited.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. So when it's like us at the airport and we take off from his house, like that's the first thing I edited, and then all of a sudden it was 20 minutes into the video.
Right.
So everything just started to kind of all tie itself together at the very end, and it was just like a magnet, like snap, holy shit, that's what we're trying to get across. Dude. It's not just a bike.
Yeah, you did an awesome job.
Thanks, Brant. Dude, really it means a lot. It really means a lot, man. It means a lot to Grant and I and everyone. I mean, it's fucking a lot of work. You know it better than anyone.
Yeah, I mean, what was it like to edit a project of this magnitude?
I bawled my eyes out like multiple times. Like just had complete stress, mental breakdowns. Just not even stress, just can't figure out what puzzle pieces fit. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have it all there. It's all there, but it doesn't make sense. It doesn't flow. It just doesn't fit. And you have to watch it. You have to rewatch it. You have to watch it again. It's a mission. It's fucking crazy.
Making movies and making videos is literally just problem solving.
But I can't complain, right? Like I'm not complaining because I put myself in the situation and I took this on and I knew what I wanted to do. Originally I wanted to do these monthly, but the stories just became too in depth, and I think like quality over quantity every time. That's how I've lived my life, so I think that's how these are gonna go. And if I get 2-3 out a year, I'll be stoked.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. And I mean, this is the kind of thing that like people, it's hard to say what I'm trying to say without sounding weird, but like if you desired to, you could make the in-between and you could have people want to like fund this as a project, and that could be your whole job. That's how like good and on how large of a scale that this is on for what you're doing. Yeah,
that's an amazing thought. We got like the original inspiration kind of came from like the weird waves. I don't know if you've ever seen that with Vans. This guy travels around and he goes to different surf cultures around the world, and it's all through Vans. It's all funded and sponsored by Vans, but he just goes and captures these cultures of surfing and brings the whole world together. And that's basically the dream for this, is how can we break those bridges or those divides, break them down between top professional and up and coming no-name rider, or 50-year-old dude that loves BMX his entire life, and 10-year-old whoever coming up on the scene. I think this is a way for everyone to kind of relate and see what really goes into it emotionally. Man. Yeah.
You're like the Anthony Bourdain of BMX with this one.
Dude, fucking writing a novel, baby. Look at this shit. Getting there. That's the original book from the first trailer. It's like, it's going to die with me.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. There's It's amazing. It's crazy because it started out from nothing. You know, we started out, and moved up to the UP, and I was living with my buddy Mark Bennett up there, and he's always just been a savage with having the camera out and
Mm.
filming us no matter what we were doing. And he is a whiz editor, and we started on that first episode. I was like, if we're gonna do this series and really like make an effort at it, then let's me do it first. Like, let me be vulnerable first. I'll sit in front of the camera. And he really helped me with that first episode a lot. And then we tag teamed the second Swamp Fest video. He filmed like most of the Swamp Fest section and all that. And now this one was just fully me, like fully all my work. And it feels surreal. It feels, there were multiple times where I almost like contacted a few people, or like, can you help me get through this?
Yeah.
Can you help me get through this? Can you help me make this make sense? Like, and it's been good though, man. It's good. It feels good. I feel accomplished, and I want to like keep moving with them. Every time I get one done, I'm like, what are we gonna do next?
Like, how do we take this to another level higher?
I feel like I hit so many points in this one that it's gonna be hard to move past, but I think it just comes with time. There's more to learn. There's always more to learn.
Oh, you're gonna have that realization. You're gonna be out doing something. You're gonna be like, boom, that's it. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I really want to get to the parents. Like, when I was a kid, my parents, for the most part, didn't really understand my obsession, and my grandparents didn't. Most of my people in my town didn't. Like, no one. It felt like, yeah, I know you. Yeah, a lot of people understand that. Nobody understands, and if these can somehow, make people understand. I have my mom watch them. She's so proud of me now. And even my mom, I notice watching them, she gets more of an insight on my life and what really goes into it, and it makes her respect it more. And that's all we're looking for, is just a little bit of RESPCT, maybe. Come on.
Yeah, you don't have to ask for it with this one. I'm curious too, what's the time span on the video? Like, it picks up, Grant's it picks up at one point in time and then comes almost to present day. So what's that time span?
Yeah, so it starts with him and I leaving the last Swamp Fest, which is about a year ago now.
Okay.
And the whole point of that day was I wanted to film a day in the life of Grant filming for his next video part, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And because what got him to Hastings was him winning this video contest.
Right.
And this video contest came about, but Grant already had a video because he just does that shit naturally. He just does it because he loves it. He goes out and he films with who's ever down and fucking films a video. And then this Hastings thing came along, and he was sitting on an amazing video, put it out, won. And so the video starts out showing you what an average day in the life of him filming for a video part looks like. Yeah. And it kind of breaks down why we do it, what his drive is for it. And then after that, it jumps from there. We ride some street in Atlanta, and then it jumps to the night before battle at Hastings.
Yep.
So it kind of shows you, it gives you that perspective of 6 months before Hastings. He's excited about the trip. He doesn't really know what's happening. I'm excited, but we're going to go ride street. We're going to do what we always do today. And we're camping and all that. We do that shit all the time. So it's like, it was just nice to show something natural, and I needed Grant to be in a place where he felt natural so he could speak to the camera.
Right.
So when he was sitting by the campfire, he felt more natural than sitting in the backyard back here, and you can see that on camera. And when he's driving in the car, he feels more natural. And
oh yeah, driving in the car was definitely like it. Honestly, so when he was driving in the car, like filming himself or whatever he was doing there, I had a thought of like, man, it seems like that this is just what he does. Like, this feels normal.
Yeah, it is. It is normal for us, like we're always doing it. We're just fucking addicted to it. That's crazy. We've followed each other around the country now, just filming video parts.
Yeah. Do you remember? Go ahead.
It starts out there, and then it jumps to the night before Hastings. So it kind of gives you that perspective of, hey, I'm excited. This is about to happen. And boom, now it's happening. And in that, we stay in his hometown, in his mom's place the night before we leave on the trip. So it was perfect. It lined up perfectly. It shows everywhere he came from and where he's at now, all within a little blip.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Have you thought about submitting this to any kind of like film festival or anything? Because you should.
My grandmother always tells me to do that. I need to. Yeah,
For
I
this
need
one,
to.
yes.
I think this is the one. I've had a BMX video in a film festival before because I worked for a guy that runs a film festival up in the UP. It's called like
Nice.
Fresh Coast. It's a pretty big one for up there. But yeah, I mean, he let me play a portion of program in it. I like edited parts of our program clips to this Sunday video I made. It was like this collab thing, all UP footage, Upper Peninsula footage, and I got to show it, premiere it to this whole crowd of like 60-year-old people that had no idea what they were doing. It was in the mix of like this girl that lost her leg to cancer and runs marathons, and the next video after was um, another survivor of something, and we're just some ratty BMX kids in the middle of those two stories. And I get up there, I'm the only videographer that showed up to the premiere.
Wow.
So I'm the only one out of all these amazing videos, my ratty fucking BMX video, I get to go up there and speak, and these people are just like, that's what you do? Oh my God, like let me find out more. And I got to speak about, that was like when it started. I spoke about BMX to all these people, and I got such a rush from it, and I felt so confident after it. It was like, I feel like honestly, it was about the same time the In-Between took off after that. It's like, let's get into these film festivals. Let's do this proper. Let's spread the word. And yeah, I think it's there. I would love to get into a film festival. That'd be amazing.
Let me see. I had a professor in school
Yeah.
who ran a website. Let me see. No Entry Fee Festivals was her website. Yeah, it's still a thing. You can go on there and
Okay.
you can
No entry
find
fees.
No Entry Fee Festivals is the website. You can go on there and find literally every single film festival that doesn't have an entry fee that exists.
Amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an amazing way to really get your work out there and really like talk to people and meet. I mean, who knows? I mean, this could go past BMX, and I could be doing some crazy documentaries in Africa or something. I don't know, but
Dude, just who
it's all
knows?
about the hands you shake, you know?
Yeah, who knows? And it's amazing to see. I mean, do you remember when you had like the moment of realization of like I want to do this idea?
With the In-Between.
Yeah.
Yeah, my buddy Mark and I, dude, we literally would just sit and toss ideas around all the time. He's one of the most creative bastards I know. And he I came up with the name. I've been stuck on that Enjoy the In-Between. It's from a Front Bottoms song. I don't know if you listen to that band, the Front Bottoms, but I like them. And they have this song where they talk about the in-between and how you need to enjoy it and shit. And it just came from that. It hit me, and I was like, this is what we're going to call it. I know it's a slightly corny, but I think maybe the corniness of it is going to attract people and live through in our work. And like, let our work do the talking. It doesn't, a name is fine, whatever. I talked to Dig and got them involved, and once they were down and saw the vision, it was like pretty much go time from there. And I'm like, let's just start with an interview. I'm like, we were going to pick up Hobie, so we had this whole plan of Primo was flying Hobie out to Michigan, and we were going to film a Hobie Primo video.
Mm.
And Primo said, no, we don't really want you to film a video. We just want Instagram content. And I, the videographer, was like, well, fuck that. Like, I'm not flying, like having this dude out here, driving him around just to film Instagram clips. Like, let's film a fucking video. We can give them their Instagram shit, and you and I do our own thing. And from that came Hobie and I realizing like how much we had alike and how our stories kind of resonated, and like, we need to talk about this. We come from these shitty little towns, and it needs to be talked about because like, I don't know, it's just how it came about. We really just felt like we weren't being heard or seen, I guess.
Dude, absolutely. It's so
Yeah.
It's so crazy to like hear this perspective on things because I mean we have the same thing. Like
Right, you're a Midwest kid, man. You know.
yeah, and my whole literally consciously from like as when I realized like oh I want to try and do something, it was like I want to show people that you can make it in BMX from a 4-foot prefab Woodward skate park.
Yeah, yeah. There's something about it, just sticking it to the man. My grandpa bet me when I was like 14 years old. I bet you won't ride that thing. $100, but you won't ride that thing when you turn 18. Pay up, pay up. That's the type of energy that my family kind of dished out in a weird way. My whole life, it was like, why, why do you put yourself through that? Why are you doing it? Why?
When are you gonna quit riding that bicycle?
Here's why, motherfucker. Watch this. Sit down, pop your popcorn, sit in your chair, and watch. This is why.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the message. Yeah, we just felt like we weren't heard, man. I felt like a lot of kids aren't being heard. And
I think you did a really good job at it. So that introspective approach to this is like totally intentional.
The introspective, what do you mean exactly?
Like how it's like a self-analyzing approach that you have where you like are very conscious of the fact that like what your situation is and that you're putting it out there.
Right. I think that's the first step in all of this, was becoming conscious of our situation and realizing that we're not so special and that there's other people out there that are going through exactly what we're going through. So how can we talk to them? How can we give them a voice? How can we show them that what we're doing is no different than what they're doing? And this whole BSD thing and all of it, when you look online and you're just finding out about us, we're in a Dig magazine now, all this stuff, like you're just finding out about us. You don't know who we are. And this shows you who we are. It doesn't show you who we are 15 years from now when maybe we become some legendary professional BMX riders and someone makes a doc about us. No, it shows you who we are now and in this day and age. And I think that's what kids need. I really do. Kids need it. Everyone needs it. We need it. This story, I mean, I watch the old episodes now and they get me stoked to go ride. They get me stoked to pick up the camera. They get me stoked to go explore. So that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, I felt like while I was watching it that this thing is exactly what BMX has kind of been lacking in a way for a while now, and just like telling people's stories more than like people have more depth than just being a BMX trick machine to get likes and views and generate like numbers on the internet, and you're showing that depth. And I don't know, I feel like I get the props remark a lot, like, oh, this reminds me of props. And definitely grew up watching props. I know this is gonna sound funny to older heads, but like Road Full 17, like I watched that one, burnt that out on the DVR. Some of the later ones, definitely took some inspiration from props. I love Stu's work, but this is nothing like props. This is something completely new, and it's the in-between, man. It's fucking everything. It's every bit that goes into it. With props, there was stories of people, there was bios, but you didn't really know them. I mean, you didn't know them. I watched the Dave Thompson props bio 100 times. I still feel like I don't know where that guy came from or what he did or how he got to where he was in BMX. I have no idea. And he's one of my favorite riders ever. Yeah. I mean, I think what you've done with this is you've captured like the feel and the vibe of BMX and translated that to video, which is why I think people like props so much. That it's not the same thing even remotely, but I think it's capturing the vibe and portraying it on video, because like anybody
makes
can
it a happy
film
vibe.
Anybody can film what is happening at a contest or an event or a person riding.
But the way it makes you feel, that's where it changes, is what is this doing for you emotionally? I mean, when I was standing in the Nora Cup room, like I'm sure there was plenty of guys in there that have been to 15 Nora Cup awards. They're like, oh, this is whatever. We're just handing out these awards. We put them in. But to me and Grant, I mean, we're standing in this Nora room at the end of that video, and like, you can't even describe it. And we tried to describe it. You know, you can't describe the way it makes you feel inside. Like just being in that room, all that love, all that appreciation, and everyone's just screaming. I mean, we were just kids, you know. We have like this little kid perspective. Like you Felix Prangenberg loves the in-between, you know, and he's standing there next to me. That blows my mind. Like Lewis Mills, we're boys now. Fucking Boyd's standing behind me. Bruno Hoffman's in the back. Like it's surreal, man. It's surreal. And I want kids and the people out there to know that Grant and we're real humans, and everyone in BMX is real as they come. It's just like anyone else that you meet in BMX. They're just another awkward fucking person riding a bike.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah. And to like go even further with the whole like trick machine for likes and whatever on the internet. It's not not the rider's fault if they're just being a professional rider. Like it's not their responsibility necessarily to make an in-between about themselves so people can see who they are. Like it's just the nature of like, well, I ride, I'm gonna film like what I film, and then whatever the company decides they want to make of me is what people end up seeing.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, this allows people a voice.
Yeah,
we're encouraging, you know, we're encouraging conversation, and we're starting with ourselves and our close friends, and we're hopefully just going to continue to expand out, you know, keep it going. More stories. I want to talk to people like Grant Smith about the origins of BSD and talk about his perspective. I mean, imagine getting Grant Smith. I don't know if you ever met him, but getting him in front of a camera and like really breaking those types of barriers. That would just be amazing. To pull that off would be amazing.
Yeah.
The history of BSD, or what it takes to run a clothing company, or, you know, what BMX teaches you. I mean, that's what this is, the in-between. That's why I put it in this fucking little notebook from school, because it's like going back to school for bikes. It's what is it teaching you? What has it taught us? And what is it going to continue to teach us?
Yeah, dude. I mean, when I was watching it, I was kind of taking notes for stuff I wanted to talk about. And one of the things I wrote down was just this video feels like a blueprint for how to make it in BMX by doing things for the right reasons.
DIY till you fucking die.
Yeah, it really does, because throughout the whole thing, you're just like very consciously being like, look, Grant's from a small town, like this is what we're doing, putting yourself, it's all in the places you put yourself. It's like it's really cool to hear that you did that somewhat intentionally, maybe not necessarily be a blueprint, but to try and like
I've thought of those exact words before to describe it. It's slowly becoming a blueprint to what it takes to do this and what you learn from it. And if you're having a hard time explaining to your parents or whoever it is, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whatever, if you're having a hard time explaining to them why you're so in love with what you're doing with a little fucking kid's bike, it's like maybe this will help. Maybe you can show them.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if I've ever had an emotional response to a BMX video before, quite like watching this one. I mean,
that's amazing to hear. That's what it's supposed to. Because, dude, I've cried. I'm telling you, I've broken down editing this thing. It takes a lot. So for people to get something out of it that deeply, that's the whole point. Get goosebumps, cry, like please.
Yeah, dude.
Get something out of it. Feel something.
I'll be real, when I was watching the whole like Battle of Hastings part, first of all, you did such a good job putting that together that I felt like I was there, kind of watching it. Like, bah, 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 yeah. And the way you describe stuff, your voiceover added to it. But I was watching that, and I was just watching that like, dude, like I'm trying to imagine myself like, if I'm ever went to that.
Like I need people to feel what that building feels like. Like that's what I said. Like if you were into jams or biking at all, that building and inside of there, just the feeling that you get. If I could bring that across in a video, I tried my hardest. So it's really good to hear that, because that section, when I sent it out to Dig and I sent it out to Read to watch, they both kind of got back to me like, oh, the Hastings section might be a bit lengthy. but both of those people had been to the contest.
Oh yeah, they already saw it.
They already knew.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah. So I took a few months off. I was like, I'll take a couple months away from this video. I'm gonna come back, and I rewatched it completely after not seeing it for a couple months, and I was like, I'm not changing it. This is it. Like, this is perfect.
To your guns.
Yeah. So I'm fucking glad that you got something out of it. That's good to hear.
Oh yeah, dude. I love that part, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about editing too in making videos. This is gonna be hard, but I think you could do it. Can just do your best if you can to describe the literal magic that happens when you're making or editing videos, because it's real.
It gives you, I got goosebumps, dude. It's fucking, it is magic. It doesn't make any sense until all of a sudden it just, and it's there.
And then you got goosebumps while you're watching it, and you're like, this is it. This is right.
Yeah, this is hitting. I mean, whether it's just like landing the trick right on beat, or, you know, saying something that makes your hair stand up, they both kind of hit the same. One's a little bit harder to edit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the doc stuff is way harder to edit than a BMX video.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But they both give you that same feeling, dude. It's like a puzzle. That's how I describe it. It's a massive puzzle that just gets dumped all over the ground, and someone is like, put that together, make it make sense.
Some of the pieces are buried. Some of them are on the other side of the world. But
dude, straight up,
there's a feeling of bliss when you're watching it back, and you just get that feeling. And honestly, for me, sometimes that feeling is better than landing like a trick I've been trying for 2 months.
Dude, it's a drug. It is a drug. Tony Maloof I finally got him over here. He hasn't edited in about a year, and we're going in on this new Reed video now. We got him over here yesterday, and we edited for about 12 hours straight. He hadn't edited in over a year, and he sat right here, and I sat right beside him, and I was like, I'm proud of you. You're doing good. Yes. Delete. Yes. Go on. You got it. And he was just blazing through. He's like, all of a sudden, I'm just sitting back there, just sitting back, smoke a spliff, just watching him just running through it like he's on a drug. Like, it was amazing. He dove right back into editing, and we had the conversation of like, oh yeah, this is why I like doing it. I forgot. It's fun.
Yeah. And I got another hard one, but maybe you've thought about this. Where do you think the ideas for like, all right, I'm going to try and put this here, or organize it this way, or go on this beat, where do you think those ideas come from?
Pure luck. I think most of the time it's luck. Because I put together a timeline, and then I'm like, this song is amazing, and I put it into the timeline, and I watch with everything I've already edited, and I'm like, okay, like, it's flowing, okay, oh shit, that worked perfectly. Oh, we gotta use this. That's staying there, and then you start locking it in. It's just it's addicting. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's pure fun. Look, I mean, you should see this list behind you of all the videos I have to get done.
Oh yeah, you see it in your Instagram stories sometimes.
I'll post this one. It's pretty funny. I got it all organized today.
Nice.
Helps my brain think.
Oh yeah, it makes total sense. What about ideas for like videos in general? Where do you think the ideas for this stuff comes from?
It's like a legacy, man, that you're just leaving behind. It's just you want to progress, right? I mean, every video has got to be better than the last. Like, the second you commit to getting one video out there, you're like, well, that's not all I got. I got more than that. I can give it more.
Yeah,
I can give it more. And it's expanding outside of BMX for me too. Like, I've got a music video on the list now, a wedding. I've done commercials working for Jeff K, and like, all kinds of stuff. You know, BMX teaches you a lot more than you think.
Oh yeah, it's
never would have. I wouldn't even have a job now or anything, you know, if it wasn't for picking up a camera at 14.
Dude, I remember the moment that I found out that you could do video as a job. Like, the moment, because I was literally going I was visiting colleges to be an artist, like drawing.
Yeah.
And I was in a room and with the lady, whoever she was, and she's like, well, what do you like to do for fun outside of drawing? And I'm like, well, I ride bikes and make videos. And she's like, you can do that. And I'm like, you can what?
She told you? That's amazing.
Like straight up.
I got paid for an Odyssey video. It was like $100 something. My buddy Chase, we just did it. And I was like, no way.
Yeah.
I got paid.
Yeah, it's crazy, but
and that's the thing. It's hard, man. And I don't make a list this long. At least I hope. Like deep down, anyway. Like I don't make a list of videos to get done to get paid. These just feel right, and they feel like they need to be done. And if I get paid to do them, that's fucking awesome. But like, I mean, I've got UB's first BSD video. My buddy Noah, Tam in America is coming out. BSD at Swamp, the Darty in the Ditch Jam. Like all of these just are things happening around me that I have this deep inkling inside of me like that needs to be filmed. I was out at Darty helping Brett with stuff, and I was just like, the first day I went out there, I didn't take my camera because it was kind of muddy, and I'm just like, you fucking idiot. He's out here busting his balls for this jam, for this community, and you're not capturing it. You're not showing. Like, it's just it's just a burning inside of me most of the time. Nowadays, it's just a burning inside of me. Like, I have to do this. I have to capture this.
It's almost a feeling of responsibility, isn't it?
It is, man. It is. And then you get hard on yourself, and yeah, it's funny. Yeah. It's funny.
It's real, man. I feel
it's all fun and games, though. Like we're having fun with it. We are having fun with it. It's hard, man. It is hard, but in the end, it's worth it. It's always worth it.
It's crazy because it's work, but it's not work because you're putting it on yourself as work.
Yeah. It is very interesting. I mean, it's just your why you're doing it. Your morals. That's what you need to stick to.
Yep.
Like even Grant just getting on BSD now, he's figuring out like, oh, am I going out and filming this Instagram clip today for BSD, or am I doing it for myself? Like, what are my intentions?
That was something I really wanted to talk about with you guys too. Mm-hmm. Just in the fact that you guys, it seems like you've got to where you are because you wanted to do all of these things. You were going to do it regardless of what happened from it, and that's exactly why people should do anything.
And that's the message. I mean, we ride for a bike company now, and we still go on trips and do things for ourselves. Shouldn't be mind blowing, right? Like we go out every weekend and do things on our own dime, our own accord. Like, yeah, it has a BSD logo on it in the end, but we're doing it ourselves. Like we're using our gas money and driving into town and filming all day and driving to San Antonio last Sunday, and we're doing those things because we want to. Like, we're on BSD, and we post on our Instagram story at BSD Forever today at the game, but like it's us. Like, it's fucking us. But we support BSD, and we love their story and where they come from, and we love Grant Smith and Denim and Reed, and like that's what it's more about. It's not about the company. It's more about the people and why you're doing it and why they're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I just realized through all this that like people talk a lot about, like the true professionals in BMX, and there's a lot of people whose names are very deservingly in that spot, but your and Grant's name are going to be on that list because and it's as soon as people realize the people who are doing it because that's just what they do. Like, yeah,
that's just what we fucking do, man. And I think Dak's been doing a good job of getting that across. He's a very true professional, man. And like the way Vish now is showing that behind the scenes doc they just put out was amazing. And those types of things. I mean, showing like, yeah, Dak is this guy and he has all this support, but he'd do it anyway. He's just addicted to it.
Yep. And
it's the way it is.
Those are the people who should be getting the in-between episodes, the people who should be pros that don't have to go and work another job, because those are the people who are doing it all for the right reasons.
Yeah, and we work other jobs, you know. But
Listen, people, make it so Trent doesn't have to work.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my parents would be hyped.
Yeah, it's just
they're my parents are so funny. It always comes back to money, you know. It's
mine too.
It won't ever make sense until I'm making money from it, which I get it, mom and dad. I get it. I need to make money to survive. I understand.
Yeah,
I'm there. But
it's funny. It's weird how like similar some stuff is between us, because it's the exact same with my parents. Like they'll find out something new comes along, or are they paying you?
Yeah.
Like, no, they're not. And there was it's crazy. For so many years, it was like, no. Then finally you can be like, yes.
Yeah, and then you tell them it's $200.
Oh.
You're like, but I got paid, bitch.
Damn it. It's not funny, but it's funny. But here's the thing.
It's not $200. It's so much more than that. It's world travel. You know, there's blessings that come from.
Well, that's not even what I was going to say, but you're right
but
there.
Go on.
What I was going to say is that with things like the in-between, what I was saying before is that you could get an outside company to want to help you do this stuff to where it is not as reliant on the BMX industry, where you're not relying on having to go work. And like, personally in my mind, I mean, you may not feel this way, but like putting like Doritos as a title sponsor for the in-between to make it so you don't have to work.
No, yeah,
it's pretty sick if that could happen.
I thought about this. Yeah, I thought about this. The especially the better they get, and the more time I spend on them. I thought about that. The thing is it's through Dig, right? So it is my thing, but it's Dig helps promote it, and they post it, and it's Dig the in-between. And so for me to get a sponsor, they would have to sponsor Dig in a way. And like we had talked about, it's something that could be in the talks eventually, but we were like discussing Vans. I mean, I think Vans could be a fucking amazing opportunity.
Sure
I think they would get behind something like this. I don't know if anyone from Vans has seen it yet, but I think if I continue to push with them, a company like Vans would get behind the message that is the in-between. And little things like that, Vans. I mean, I'll drink a Coke I drink Coke all the time. Coca-Cola, you want to pay me? Like, I'm down for that shit if it helps us travel more and connect with more people and document more cultures and get more messages out there, then I'm fucking all for it. But that's not why we're doing it.
Right, exactly.
Right. But it's, I mean, if that comes about, hell yeah. But yeah, it's at this point in time, it's how much can we show with what we have. And,
and it's the kind of thing that just like putting that out there so people know, because obviously you're going to do this no matter what.
Yeah.
That everyone knows that. So it's to the point where it's like, this is some really cool stuff.
I mean at this point, I know Dig is amazing, and they really help kind of solidify. They helped in the beginning with the in-between, kind of like, what's the in-between? Like, you're not hopping behind the in-between. You're kind of, you already have those Dig supporters, right? So it's like, if it's a Dig thing, then it kind of already gets that sort of like, what do you call it? Credit, or, you know, so that it kind of legitimized it in a weird way. But in my mind, it was just like this weird fucking thing I was doing, and I don't know how the message is going to get across. I mean, I've said this in another podcast, but within 20 minutes after that first episode dropped, Felix Prangenberg was the first one to message me. It was like there wasn't even a like on it yet. There wasn't even a comment. It was him messaging me like, this is amazing. This hit home with me. I'm from a small town in Germany, and this is what BMX is missing. That was the first reaction I got. Felix Prangenberg. I was like, holy shit, dude. You're the exact type. Yeah, and like seeing Felix online, and nobody knows him, but like just from like as someone that's not at his level of riding and notice, seeing him online, it was like, that's the exact type of person I would think wouldn't even tune into the in-between. And here he is loving it and getting something. Now we're homies through it, you know, and met him at Hastings, and like it's just surreal. You just have, if you have something you want to do, you just need to fucking do it. That's the message, and don't let anyone stand your way. You know that better than anyone.
Don't wait on anyone for anything, because if you're waiting on people, it's just never gonna happen.
Yeah. No, yeah, you just have to do it yourself. That's what BMX teaches you at its core. It's just DIY.
Yeah, man. I also wanted to talk a little bit about the voiceover aspect of it too. Like, did you know from the very beginning that these needed to have voiceover on them?
No, yeah, that's actually a great question, because the first one was all edited and done, we thought, and it was like 14 minutes long, and it had no voiceovers. And I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like, we tried to make it make sense with me doing interviews, but I just couldn't get it out there the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I took the thing from my buddy Mark that edited the majority of that first episode, because I couldn't listen to myself talk. I'm like, bro, you got to edit this. And then I ended up having to listen to myself talk over and over and over and over again. And literally the first episode is this, on my phone, in my little apartment bathroom. Just like, this is how I did it, in the shower, on my phone. So it once I put those in, I put like a 3 or 4 of them in. I was like, oh, like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
This makes me cringe, but it makes sense.
You need the context.
Yeah, you need it. And I had my girlfriend watch it, and because I don't care what she thinks, or I care what she thinks, but like, you know, but I care what she thinks. But she was the first person I could go to with something I was embarrassed for people to see.
Yeah.
You know. And
saved yourself there.
Yeah, I dig myself holes all the time.
That was funny. Anyway.
Yeah, she watched it and she's like, I forgot that was you. Like, oh, hell yeah. We're in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that voiceover, and as soon as you started talking in this episode, I was like, that is exactly what this needed, and it takes people through the story, because that context is what helps you build the personal connection between all of the different puzzle pieces that without it, it's just like, it's just a bunch of video edited together that might not mean anything until you weave the context, or the voiceover is the thread that's weaving the whole thing together.
It's the glue. Yep.
The glue,
yeah. I also think the voiceover is what helps it stand apart.
Yeah.
I think that's where the story really comes into play, the narration, and I mean, we watch it all the time in movies. There's narration in so many movies, you don't even notice it. I think like to see it in a BMX video is definitely different, but it's something you've seen before. It's something we've all seen before and we're used to, just not with BMX. And yeah, it's funny, man. Even to this day, like I have premieres with the new episode, and Grant and I had a premiere with like 6 of our friends, and we just sat in the back of the living room like, oh my god, dude, this is cringe. Like, oh, we gotta listen to ourselves. but like we get it. Like we know the message is there, and we know what we're trying to get across. The hard part was trying to show Grant for who he really is, like just his goofy fucking self. I mean, he's like the most humble person you could ever cross paths with, so it was really hard to get him to talk about this.
Yeah.
And
is he available?
Grant,
I will
talk to Brant. I'm gonna Grant to Brant right now.
G to B.
Report in.
Over.
Yeah, you want to just talk to him and then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, all right. Talking. Love you, Brant. Thank you for having me on here, dude.
You gotta come back at some point.
Okay. All right. Well, here, talk to him. We just have the headphones. So.
Yeah, no worries. What's up, dude? Can you hear me?
All right. I can now. Yes, sir.
How you doing?
What's up? Doing good.
Same hat.
Huh?
We're wearing the same hat.
We are wearing the same hat.
That's cute.
Trent had the same hat on too. This happens all the time. Shirts, sweatshirts, whatever.
Yeah, I could see how that would happen. So, you've seen it, obviously? You've seen the whole episode?
Oh, yeah.
I was curious while watching it, like, I wonder if Trent is anything like me, and that if I was making that, I wouldn't have let you watch it until it was uploaded.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, we've been, like, I've seen parts of it here and there, and then eventually we sat down and watched it with, like, a bunch of our friends, and that was, like, the first time that we watched it fully, like, front to end.
Nice. What are your thoughts on it, not having seen it?
It was intimidating the first time for sure, like because we had a bunch of like the friends from Austin here, like Brett, Julian, all those guys were over, and it was like literally my whole life on the screen, and I'm just like kind of sitting back a little bit, just like waiting to see the reaction, and they all loved it, but it was crazy. Yeah, it was very cool to see though, because they all thought it was awesome, and people were gonna love it.
That's really cool to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched all of that, and it's such a relatable and easily digestible story, or easy to digest story. And you guys did such a good job putting it together. And I was just like, fuck yes, the whole time.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear because like me, like obviously it's my life and I know like a lot that happens and like Trent does it and like me and Trent have been best friends and yeah, that's awesome to hear, honestly.
Yeah, I'm also curious. So like, how involved with like the actual making of this video process were you? Were you just on camera, or did you get involved with any kind of ideas or anything like that?
I mean, like we knew it was a project that we wanted to do, and we didn't really know what exactly or like how it was going to go together at first. But we were like, okay, let's do these interviews. Let's like talk about this, and then we'd sit down, and like make a list, and then me and Trent would put together a list of things we wanted to talk about together, and then go from there. And so we would make a plan together with ideas, and then put it together like that and do different interviews like that.
Yeah.
All here.
And yeah, that's it right there.
It's all there.
Yeah.
It's all the story broken down.
Yeah.
Sections, the stars are like where points meet. It's all there.
That's just cool. I mean, that's your storyboard, right? Uh-oh. Can I hear you?
How do we sound?
That sounds fine.
Can you hear us?
Nice.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, we just unplugged that.
Yeah, we had headphones. Now we unplugged them.
No worries. There's a little bit of me in there. Can you turn me down just a little bit?
Turn you down?
Yeah, the volume.
Yeah. 1 second.
Shrink you guys.
Audio and visuals. I don't know.
Just the volume of the computer.
Oh, word. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That'll make
Better.
me echo a little bit less, but it should be
that's
fine.
beautiful.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good. One thing I wanted to talk about now, it's cool that you guys are both here for this, is just I thought it was really, really cool how you guys recognized the dudes in the Michigan video and all those guys for like inspiring you.
Dude, that, I don't know about you, but that section for me, like, once a video gets to that point, I'm like, this just has so much meaning and so much heart behind it that I can't wait for Corey. I know Corey's gonna watch this shit, and I cannot wait for him to see that. He hasn't seen it yet. And the daily grind section too, where we kind of do an ode to daily grind and where they've gotten us, and it's all part of it, you know. I think they're a part of our inspiration and our story. So they're in a chain of events. They're whoever we inspire with this. That's, you can thank them.
Yeah, it's so sick. And just like acknowledging the fact earlier that you guys might not be where you are if it wasn't for that entire group.
We might not be as cool as we are, that's for sure. We're definitely some corny little fucking kids. If you watch the original 99 Crew stuff, it's so funny.
That is funny. There's also just the for lack of a better term in my brain right now, the dynamic duo aspect of things. It's just like there's not very many duos in BMX currently.
Yeah, I like Lou and Ben. We got to meet.
Yeah, Lou and Ben.
We got to meet Lou at Ballot Hastings, and just talking with him about him and Ben's dynamic is so sick. We were relating to a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a few more out there.
Yeah, there's only a few though. It's hard, you know. I mean, we live different lives. The fact that this is what, the third or fourth house that we've lived in together now in the past few years. We've moved all over. We moved from lower Michigan up to upper Michigan. I moved to Milwaukee. He stayed up in upper Michigan, and now we live in Austin. Like, it's hard, man. We have different lives. We've taken different paths. many times in our lives. And,
Well, it says something
it's just hard for people.
It says something that you've stuck. I mean, you're still doing it. You're still living together. You're moving across the country together.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something that could come into play. He likes cars. He could have became a car guy and dipped out of BMX real quick. You know, it's just all waves. It all comes in waves. And right now we are riding a high wave, man. We're loving BMX right now. It's just everything.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, just to think about how different things might be if they happened in any different kind of a way.
Yeah. Then, dude, the in-between could have easily not happened. Easily.
Grant, did you know or think that your dad was going to be so damn good on camera?
Oh, dude, I had an idea. I mean, that man is good at talking, and honestly, he's probably watching this right now. And he just talks to everybody.
He's the man.
He's like comfortable in any situation, and he's the best.
He's a middle school math teacher. He's fucking hilarious. The footage of him getting flipped over, and then he comes back. He's like, I knew he wasn't gonna hit me. It's so funny. And in between, like, that describes him to a T. Dude, he has clips. You could find him on YouTube. Brant probably could, of him walking through the woods acting like a Bigfoot hunter. And it's
no way.
Yeah, he's vlogging himself, and it's like for his kids in his class for them to laugh.
He did it as
How
a
does
joke.
He find it, dude?
He did it as a joke for his kids in his class because they were talking about Bigfoot.
Spell your last name, Grant.
UEBERROTH.
There's a clip of his dad on a bike too, and he's like 420 blaze it, and then he doesn't smoke or anything. Like, he just pedals off this curb and eats shit.
It's like a 2-foot ledge, and he tried to ride off of it on a mountain bike and just eat shit.
I got a newfound respect for you biker boys. Or something like that.
I don't know. I tried. His name's Mike, right?
Yeah.
I tried typing.
I had a feeling he'd be pretty good on camera, but I didn't know he would be that good.
Dude,
he said like his points that he got across for this video. This comes out tomorrow. Is amazing.
He literally named the video. I mean, he.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
It's just the bike. He did that all himself. The video was not named that until he came up with that himself. He said it's not just the bike. It's more than that. The bike is what brings it all together, and like that's what culminated the entire story.
That's amazing.
Shout out fucking Mr. Uberoth, the OG UB.
Yeah, when I saw the stunt show backflip part, I was trying to figure out. I'm like, all right, is Grant gonna be riding in this show? Is Trent gonna be like, what's going on here? And then I heard someone say his name, and I was like, oh,
yeah. I was gonna give more context, but I think when you watch it and you get to the end of it and you see like the emotion that comes after it, it shows you, oh, he is one of the most supportive parents you could possibly have.
Yeah.
And it's just that story to parents is what we're trying to get across. Like, this is how you should be with your kid that's addicted to BMX. They tried bowling, they tried baseball, they tried whatever, but it just came back to the bike. Like, whatever, that's what he liked, so that's what we fucking supported.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, that's how you should parent.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Grant was sitting there for that, like, until the end when you like were showed there. So like, what was it like for you to just be sitting there listening to your dad talk about you and bikes that whole time?
It was.
Did you get emotional at all? Like,
you mean at the school thing?
No,
at the
house.
Yeah,
he was making burgers and shit.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was crazy listening to him talk about it because I was like kind of trying not to listen, but at the same time I was just sitting there like, because I mean Trent was asking him questions and I was just sitting there in the background, and I probably could have cried. I easily could have cried, but I was like
just
held
kept
back,
smiling.
Yeah,
I saw you.
Like, I knew I was in the shot, and I was like, oh shit,
I can't pick a tear here.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean it's very good to see and hear him talk about it in that perspective. Because, like, I mean, I know he's always been supportive, but, like, hearing him say it and like talk about it like that is very, very like heartwarming.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask, was if you had any kind of an inclination that he felt the way that he did before that.
I don't think you did really. Like your dad probably never really voiced it that
No,
well.
I mean not like that at all. Like I mean,
and I think that's why it made you so emotional. Even me, I mean, I had to cut out so many of my little giggles behind the camera while I was interviewing him because I was just like trying to hold it back. Like,
yeah.
Like if my dad talked to me this way.
Watching it, I get like really emotional when I watch it too. Like when we watch it together. That's why it was hard. Like earlier, I said watching it in front of like Brett and Julie and all the dudes here. It was crazy.
Yeah, me and Grant were just like sucking our thumbs in the back corner of the living room, just like we're like literally just like butted up next to each other on the ground.
Full living room of homies, like close friends
in
here.
the dark.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's
man, dude, it's coming out tomorrow, man. It's fucking crazy. Like, I was scared about the length. Dig was scared about the length. They're like, "Hey, you're getting into a full length here." I'm like, "Well, that's what it is, man."
Yeah.
If you get through it and you watch it, you realize how we're just some average motherfuckers that are addicted to biking. We're just some weirdos, man, and just some Midwest misfits.
I can promise you there's gonna be a lot of people who watch the whole thing. I already know it. You're gonna have more people who watch that and leave comments about it, and you're gonna hear it. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, awesome.
I also wanted to say shout out to Applebee's.
Shout out Applebee's. Dude, Applebee's, Denny's, IHOP, Waffle House, shout them all out.
And Speedway.
And Speedway,
man. Dude. Oh my God. I gotta talk about Speedway.
That's a Midwest gas station.
Yeah, that's a Midwest gas station.
Okay, so
the best one.
Our Speedway is like a half mile up the road from our skate park, and it is where like the people you go to the county fair to watch are all at our Speedway at any given time of day. It doesn't matter when, and they're all there, and that's like. So my whole entire life growing up riding, I ride to the skate park every day. Then I ride from the skate park to Speedway to get the Speedy Freeze, the Mountain Dew, 69 cents, huge cup.
Yeah.
And the fact that you brought up Speedway is
we had Speedy rewards, man.
Yep.
That shit funded trips at times, all the rewards points.
That's so awesome. Oh my God. But yeah, we got to the Applebee's part.
Where do you live in Indiana? Where?
I'm in Ohio.
Oh, you're in Ohio.
An hour south of Ray's. That's what I was going to get at. I'm glad you brought that up. My girlfriend and I just moved into a house. We only have like 2-3 extra rooms. So like, come stay for a week, please.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
We can
you
go
said you're an hour south of
Ray's. Hour south of Ray's. Yeah. So let's see. If you watched the Cleveland Burn Slow video, that DIY spot is a half hour from here. There's trails 10 minutes. There's like 4 skate parks within 20 minutes.
We love Ohio, man. I'm always down to go back there.
We can shoot guns. We can go fishing. We can ride 4-wheelers. We can do all of it.
Say less, Brant. You had me. You had me at 2 to 3 extra rooms.
There's even beds. I got a futon right on the other side of my desk. Like, I was just thinking
how shoot guns with Gerber.
Yeah, that could happen. That actually could happen.
Let's do it, man. I need to do it in between on that pool.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. But,
dude.
Yeah, I just was like, man, we need to make that happen because just coming out here and just doing Ohio Midwest stuff for a week and riding bikes would be sick.
Yep. Well, you're always welcome in Austin, too, man. I got a busy schedule, but you're always welcome here. That right there is your bed.
Sick.
Yeah.
Sleep with the dog.
That's the beautiful couch. I slept there for a month before I moved in
here. Oh, that's great. So I feel like, Grant, I mean, you didn't get to hear a lot of what we talked about with Trent with the intentionality of this being like a conscious look at BMX and kind of making it in BMX. Do you feel that way about it too?
I mean,
Do you feel it shows you like? Do you feel it shows you a way or perspective of how we got to where we're at? Does it show you that it's possible? I mean, because there's always been that talk, like with a college football player, like football player, he goes to college, he goes to the NFL. Like, how do you become a professional rider?
It kind of shows.
Does it show that a little bit?
Yeah, it definitely does. It shows the story of just like how it comes from just doing what you want to do. Like I've literally just rode my bike for my whole life, and that's all I've wanted to do. And I've put time and effort into riding like almost every day, and like showing up all the time, and just always saying yes for trips. Like no matter what, like whoever it is, I'm going on a trip. Like it does not matter. I'm there, and that takes a lot. And it's just that easy. Like I don't know. It definitely does show.
It's easy. It's easy to not show up to anything in life. You know, it's easy to not go to the skate park.
Yeah.
But fucking pat yourself on the back when you finally get there. I'm sure you're getting up there now in age. Like I'm sure you've had plenty of sessions now where 5 minutes in you're just like, fuck, I'm not feeling it. And then you break that barrier and you're like, oh yeah, this is why I ride. This is fun.
I mean, dude, there's still times where I'll like go to ride a skate park and I don't know, I'll just like have anxiety or whatever the fuck it is and like decide not to ride at that point in time, and then like just make myself go ride. And as soon as I get on my bike, I'm like, okay, yep, it's this is awesome.
And that's what it all boils down to.
And that's all it takes is getting onto your bike.
Yeah, being intentional. And sticking to it. And just loving it. You know?
I wrote in my notes here while I was watching it, and I think through talking, I feel like this is the opposite of unintentional, but I wrote that it almost feels like an unintentional response to the way things are in BMX, in the BMX world today, as far as like kids who are out there doing it for like the glory or the Instagram likes or the follows or the money or whatever it might be. It almost feels like a response to that.
Well, in a way, I mean, we have been dreaming about getting on companies our whole life, just like any BMX kid does. You know, you just want to know what that's like to have your riding be respected and glorified, I guess. I don't know. And I got to that point with Sunday, where Sunday contacted me randomly one day and put me on, and I could not fucking believe it. And this is nothing to Sunday, but nothing changed. You know, nothing changed in my life. For 2 years went on, the COVID happened and all that, but I was still riding for a big bike company and nothing changed. I was still doing everything for myself. And that's when I had the awakening of like, oh, like this never ends. We are always having to drag ourselves out of the door, like, and go ride, go film that next project. It's on no one but ourselves.
No one's doing it for us.
No one's doing it for you. And that message right there, I think for kids, I mean, that attitude resonates with these companies nowadays. Like, the kids that are going out there and doing it for no other reason than just because they fucking love it is why you do it. And that doesn't mean going out there and filming Instagram clips every day, like, and showing that you're doing it. That means going out and doing it.
Yep.
Don't take your phone. Don't take your camera. Just fucking do it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, man. I mean,
enjoy every second of it, man.
That's literally why I film every single second of it. Is so
I know that part gets overwhelming though. I know it's
It's all their different avenues. Like even if like the fact that you just have to get on your bike and the love of riding is. And presenting it in whatever way you want to is what it's all about.
Yeah, just know what you're getting out of it. You know what you're getting out of it, and know why you're doing it every day. You have to do that with life, and you have to do that with biking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Question your morals every day. Question yourself and who you are.
That's a really great. Question your morals every day.
Yeah.
That's really.
Fuck yeah.
That's philosophical, Trent.
The in-between.
The in-between. I was going to ask, at this point, how important is the in-between to you?
I described it recently as, I forget the fucking word, but it's basically like your, when you die, it's your like what you leave behind, your message,
your purpose, not purpose.
It is my purpose, yeah, but it's my
legacy,
calling. You know,
not legacy.
Yeah, there's a word for it, but it's just it's everything, dude. It's fucking everything. It's why we get up in the morning. It's why we're not depressed some days. It can't go much deeper than that. It's, you know, it's made us who we are. It's our escape. It's everything, and that's not just us. Like we're trying to just speak for everyone out there. Every little awkward fuck escape arc that doesn't know how to talk to you. We were there once. We remember it. It was yesterday.
Dude, everyone is awkward. Corey Rogowski actually said that one day, and ever since then, I've said it to myself all the time. Yeah. Everyone is awkward in their own way, and it does not matter whatsoever. You just gotta. It does not matter.
It's funny when you pay attention to that.
You gotta own it. You gotta be thoughtful. You gotta put good energy out there, and that's it.
Yeah, dude. So, this is a good one for both of you. Do you ever just like lay down after the end of the day and you're just like, fuck, I did it?
Yeah. You ever just sit on the end of the day, you're like, fuck, why did I do
No,
it?
actually, no.
Hell yeah.
I think it's because I'm too tired.
I love that though. No, I do feel that way. Yeah, definitely. I did it. Yeah. Whether it's just getting a clip during the day or fucking finishing editing that video, you get that feeling, you just pat yourself on the back.
Yeah.
It is funny though. I mean, you have to question why you're doing what you're doing every day. I would assume you do it. There's moments in my life where I'm just like, I could just erase this whole board right now and just go and hide somewhere, and it would never happen again. It's like, oh wait, like that wouldn't be purposeful. That wouldn't be meaningful. Like, what's the point of that? I'm doing this because I want to, not because I have to.
Right, man. I mean, that's that heat inside.
Yeah, it's that fire.
That fire.
Light that shit.
Keep it going. Keep moving.
That's so good. So Grant, for people who are gonna be watching this, or maybe they already watched it at this point, like, what are your feelings about this episode of The In-Between now that it is done and gonna be out there?
I just want people to watch it, even if they like skip through it and watch like parts of it. I just want them to see like parts of my life and realize that it's similar to theirs and relate to it and take things from it and learn and just do what they want to do and, you know, just learn from it.
Learn from it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
And
watch
like,
it.
I don't know, like it's a lot for me, but like it's literally like my whole life. Like I've watched it. I mean, the last time I watched it was like a month ago, so it's been a little bit. But I'll definitely watch it once it comes out again tomorrow. And yeah, I don't know. It's a lot, but people are gonna like. I just hope people learn from it and can relate and gain new perspectives and be motivated to just keep riding. Because that's like this is everything for me is riding.
Whether they're a kid or like some 60-year-old dude.
Yeah, like whether you're a young kid or just
Auntie Jane, BMX.
Yeah.
Is that an inside joke that I don't know about?
She's this lovely lady from Scotland that rides BMX. She's got to be in her 60s. She's Auntie Jane BMX on Instagram. She's like the grandma that BMX is.
Damn,
she's
a huge supporter of the In-Between and us and BSD. She loves it.
And we love her too.
Yeah, we love it.
That's amazing. That's so cool, dude.
So if Auntie Jane can relate, then anyone can relate.
Yeah.
Shitting me.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, I think with something like this, and then basically this is like a deeper dive than something like what we're doing now in a podcast. It's like taking a podcast and the personal connection you get with that person to a whole nother level. And I think what we're going to see is like more of this kind of stuff happen.
Yeah. I mean, so he just did the podcast with Bobby Canode. Yeah. And they talk about a lot of things that we talked about in the In-Between. And then I made some Instagram reels just like using some footage, and in that moment I realized like, oh shit, like we already did a podcast, but we made it a story and put imagery over it and some songs.
Yeah.
But
That's
we
basically what it
we
is,
filmed
too, like-
we filmed 6 podcasts and put it into one movie.
Yeah.
You guys made a movie, and it's
The
sick.
podcast is like almost like a vlog version, I guess, of the in between. It's like a splurge. It's like this is like this whole conversation we just had. I might have gotten like 3 things out of it for the in between. You know, This is 2 hours of footage that I have to watch through.
Oh my god!
That's so cool.
Are you ready for the next one?
Oh yeah, I'm already there. I think I want to do it about my buddy Jordy. That's the plan. He stopped riding for 10 years. He lives in the UP, and I've already done like the stories with Hobie and with Denim. Kind of, I didn't touch on their lives so much, but it shows their perspective of us. And now Grant, before I start diving into some of these more like well-known name guys, I wanna show the roots and show some different stories. Like our buddy Jordy is someone that's very influential in our lives, and he didn't even know it. And then he stopped riding for 10 years, just got on whatever, and we got him riding again. And like that story I want to talk about.
That's amazing.
So that one's kind of underway already. Like I edited the intro for it. It was going to be the 3rd episode, but this one came up with the trip to Hastings. Everything just kind of made sense. And people needed to figure out who Grant was too, because he was in the first 2 episodes. So they needed to learn about him.
I gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, there's always another one in the pot.
Hell yeah! What's next for you, Grant? What do you got lined up?
Oh man, I don't know. BSD video is next.
Yeah, sure. UBSD.
UBSD.
Whoa, that's so good.
I just set that.
Trent just said that
yesterday, dude. I'm sitting here on my computer. He's sitting behind me. I'm loading up his timeline. We're getting it together, and I turned around and I was like, UBSD. File name. Done. Now it's on the whiteboard, dude.
It is.
That's what I was talking about when I asked where do you think those kinds of ideas come from? Because where did that come from in your head?
Dude, I don't know.
He probably just typed in UB and then was about to put BSD in and like realized it in his head like UB BSD.
Well, we kept saying like you be tripping. We'd be saying that like you be sleeping, and we've been making fun of his name in that regard.
So Jack Leary started that one.
You be overgrinding.
Jack Leary will comment, dude. He'll respond to my shit on Instagram or like whatever, and he'll say funny stuff like that.
You be wildin'.
Like you be wildin', and he'll make funny.
So
comments.
UBSD, dude. Yeah. You fucking.
That's what's coming next, though.
Hell
Grant.
Yeah.
That's what's coming next.
Yeah, it looks good, and I'm dropping mine as well. So Grant filmed mine, I filmed his, and I edited both of them. But it's good. We're both dropping our first BSD videos, all riding. That's gonna be good. I'm really excited for that because I've been dropping a lot video wise. The past year, I've been working and progressing a lot on the filming side of things. So it's gonna be nice to finally like put a part out there again. Be like, oh yeah, this motherfucker can ride.
Yeah.
At least that's my reminder for myself.
He needs to get behind the camera too.
In front of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see both of these. Do you have like a couple weeks, couple months?
Mine's done. I just gotta put like BTS flair in there, make it nice and poppy. But I got the song I'm stoked on and everything. We know the song for his. We got the timeline together. He just wants to get probably like another 30 seconds to a minute. So another like 4 clips or so.
Yeah, it'll probably be a couple months or so for mine, but
mine will come out. Mine will probably come out next, and then it'll be Grant's or Tam's next after that. Tam America.
Oh, I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, Tamerica, baby. That one's right. He got broke off with 2 weeks left.
And still had probably like 4 minutes of footage.
Oh no, dude, he's got 5 minutes.
Dude, it's crazy. And then I didn't even know he was
those kinkers take up time.
I know. Well, not when you do them third try.
But he does a 7 kinker, like a fucking clip.
The amount of time it takes to show that clip
to get to the bottom of the damn rail.
True.
He does like 10 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that just reminded me. I don't mean to backtrack like crazy, but I thought it was super sick how you edited the clip of Corey doing the kinker to ice and then Grant doing the kinker to ice.
That
and
one
Corey was there.
That one's insane.
That one's special.
I've looked up to Corey since I was probably 14, 15 years old, because he would always show up. He's from the same little town I'm from, like very close. And he would show up at skate park. Like, I was on a little GT performer and like just learning how to ride, and he would show up and ride that park like how you should ride a park.
Yeah.
Like insane. And I'd be like, this is amazing. And ever since then, I've looked up.
He gave you a seat, right?
Yeah, I know. I bought a seat from him.
You bought his seat off him.
Yeah.
He bought his seat.
I literally pedaled home as fast as I could because he said I could buy it for $10. I didn't have $10. I pedaled all the way home, got $10 from my parents, which was like, I don't know, it was probably like a mile away. Pedaled as fast as I could because he was like, oh, we might be leaving soon, but if you come back, like whatever. And
$10.
Dude, $10.
And you just sniffed it the whole way back.
No, but it was super sick, dude. I pedaled as fast as I could. I still remember that.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I got a story like that
dude.
too.
Shout out Corey Rogowski.
Shout out Corey.
Shout out Nick Bolin.
All those
Yes.
guys.
Chase Krolik.
Literally made us who
Alex
we are.
Burnside.
Zach North messaged me when I posted.
Zach fucking North.
Zach
Shout
North
out
is the man.
him, dude.
Him too.
You ride with him? He's in Ohio now, eh?
Yeah, he's down by Dayton.
Dayton.
Yeah, he's 2.5 hours away. But
Yeah, I gotta get out and see those boys. I gotta see Tony. I gotta see all you Ohio boys. Howard, Gerber.
We can make this happen.
Yeah, this summer.
we'll
It's getting too hot out here. We'll be out there.
Yeah, I would love to leave, honestly, for a little bit.
Yeah,
It's gonna get so hot.
That's all I'm saying. The beds are already made.
Dude, we look cute in these hats, bro. Forgot.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
That's funny. Yo,
Look at that.
if you guys come out here,
we don't even get paid to do that, dude.
I'm even adding to it. We had all three of them on there at once. I just realized that you guys could both get Lip Lord's clips if you came out here, and it got me really excited.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
So, I don't know. The whole theme in the beginning of that was like, you mentioned something about just being a kid from a nowhere town that can make shit happen. And I love that you guys are both a representation that it is indeed possible. And not only just for one of you, but both of you are on the same team and motivating each other. And it's just like amazing. You crying, Grant?
It is amazing. It is amazing.
Unreal.
It's one thing for two homies to get hooked up by companies and go on to live their BMX dream, but we're doing it together. We get to go on the same trips and ride on the same airplane. Yeah, it's sick. Most of the BSD crew is making their way to Austin too, by the sounds of it. So we're all going to be squatted up on airplanes. It's going to be awesome.
That is amazing. I mean, at Swamp Fest, it was so clear to see that you guys are just a big group
Dude,
of
BSD
brothers.
came in and just took it over, man.
Yeah, it was sick.
This was nuts.
We love Swamp, dude. We'll get every Swamp till we die.
Yep. Yeah, it's the event that I slept on it for a couple of years, went there, and I was like, well, never missing one of these again.
Dude, the way you feel the whole time is just like your cheeks hurt.
The people you see, you just see everybody. Everyone's there.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
That's the best part.
Garrett Reynolds popped up at one point. I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, I literally, he was walking down, dude, Garrett,
We just hung out with him at Hastings.
Yeah, we were hanging out with him at Hastings, and then I'm sitting at my campsite, and I see him walking, like, down the path, and he literally, like, sees me and just, like, kind of waves casually, and I'm like, hey,
you know me?
like, hey.
Like, you turn around, like, who's behind me?
He's the most realist motherfucker ever. Like, we got to hang out at Hastings, and I were sitting on the beach till, like, the sun came up and just chatting. It's still surreal, though. I mean, when I see Garrett, it's still fucking Garrett.
Yeah, that was the first time
like,
I ever seen him.
Earlier, how I said you just have to put yourself out there and, like, ride all the time. Like, I never think about, doing any of this stuff. I literally, in my mind, I'm just like, okay, I'm here, I'm riding, I'm at Swamp Fest, like this is what I like to do, and then all of this stuff just happens.
Yeah,
like,
then you meet Garrett.
Like nothing. Like
I got on BSD from Swamp Fest.
Yeah.
Like you can't expect anything to happen. It's just like you just have to do it. And it just happens.
Put yourself there.
It's unreal.
He wasn't
literally unreal.
I got in trouble. I go on my first BSD trip to Houston for the Battle of the Brand shit. And I tell Grant, like, hey, man, you should come to Texas. Just drive out there yourself. You should come out there, like, just help me on the trip, whatever. And I didn't tell Reed. And basically he shows up, and I was like, yo, Reed, can Grant, like, stay with us? He's my homie, long-time homie. He's going to help me film and stuff. He's just like, bro, like, you got to tell me. You got to tell me before you, like, I only got this many people on the list. And, you know, just Reed it. But he ends up putting him on the fucking team by the end of the trip. It's just surreal.
That's
because Grant drove his little fucking vibe all the way down to Texas from Michigan and put himself in an uncomfortable situation.
Oh yeah, I was like, it was definitely like
Yeah.
intimidating.
And then you just put your head down and you just did what you do.
Yeah, no, that's literally.
And then we're sitting in the bar and surprise, Reed couldn't tell me that he was putting Grant on. He's like, you're gonna blow the surprise. I didn't know either. So the surprise in the bar is like that footage. Like I'm like just frozen.
He was just as surprised as I was.
That's amazing. Yeah, so it was the same trip, like within like a week. This all happened.
This all happened at
Battle of the Brands. 8 days. Battle of the Brands trip.
Yeah, I finally got on BSD and I go on my first trip. And before I even got like the confirmation that I was on BSD, I hit up Grant Smith and was like, hey man, I've been doing this like for a long time with my buddy Grant, and he's still just as in it. He kills it. And he's like, oh, I know Yubi. Yeah, Yubi's sick. Let's worry about you first. And I was like, okay, yes sir. You know? Yeah. And I was like, great, get yourself on the trip, man. Just come. And it worked. Fucking worked.
That's amazing. I mean,
now they love Yubi.
You guys gotta get some like signature stuff. Get your working on things
there's
together.
no talks about that yet. I'm sure.
I'm just putting it in the universe for you. It's just it has to happen.
Fuck yeah.
Like, can you imagine if you guys had like two different seats that went together, like the art worked together, but they're two different seats or something like that, like yin and yang seats that are Grant and Trent. They only work.
Homies are home. It might get loud in here now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put the earphones back in or something.
But yeah, dude, it would be fucking amazing.
That's okay. I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half. You guys gotta bounce. It's all good.
Hold on a second. Yeah, you're good. Have we been going an hour and a half? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you guys gotta bounce, it's all good.
Yeah, we might have to. Just because it's gonna get loud now. We got a few other homies at the house.
That's okay. Let us know where we're gonna find the in between and watch it.
Yeah, follow MooreBMX. It's called @Enjoy the In-Between, all one word, Enjoy the In-Between on Instagram. And yeah, just follow along. Like
I'll
Grant
pull
and
that up. What are your guys' Instagram?
Mine is Trent, Trent Lutzke, Lutzke.
Boom.
And then Grant's is
mine's Grant _ UB YOOBIE.
Right there.
You be better following.
Got it. They're both there on the screen. I also didn't know there was an in between Instagram, so following that now.
Nice.
Yeah, I appreciate your guys' time. I think the video turned out absolutely amazing, and you will never know the full impact that this single video is going to have, but it's going to have it.
Fuck yeah, Brant.
Dude, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, man. Your words mean a lot, bro.
Hell yeah. Come ride with me in Ohio. Let's do Midwest things and shoot guns.
Dude, let's get weird.
Let's go. Super down.
All right, guys. Have a good night, and thank you.
Dude, everyone, thank you, Brant.
Bye.